Can I hear something much more louder than what I heard now?
Good morning.
Wonderful. Thank you. And unfortunately, Bhavesh couldn't join us. He's not well. He's fallen sick. Now that means I have been very delightful and also at the same time honored to be with this esteemed panelist. I think today being 4th of March is going to be a good day for me as well. Imagine sitting in line with wearing beautiful ladies. So let me not waste further time. We're going to be talking about how women entrepreneurs are changing industries with innovation. So let me first start with Ms. Fatima Agarkar in terms of maybe you could give us a brief of what exactly was the purpose behind KA Associates, and what is it that one secret recipe that actually came into building KA Associates.
So my partner and I, we are a 20 women organization, and the poor IT professional is the only man in our organization. We did not create KA Associates with the vision of creating women empowerment alone. Shweta actually just reminded me that when we started off this journey, we just wanted to be entrepreneurs. We didn't think we were women or men, and honestly, the journey is the same for men and women. But as it works, we are a spirit, we are a fraternity, and women come together quite easily. So this strong 20-woman force addressed a gap in our system. All the mothers sitting here were slightly critical of the education system. I was one of them. And I said nothing really has changed, simply because the teachers are teaching children that have gone far ahead. And there are more schools opening today with the international tag than anyone understands. And we address the gap in our system, which is to upgrade these teacher skills. Someone who taught me in school cannot be teaching my son. Times have changed, my child knows way more than I did, and therefore the teacher needs to be empowered to change and adapt to this changing world. We're here as CAR to fulfill that gap of teacher training, teacher upgradation, because we think in 2020 there won't be teachers to teach our children. And that's a fact, that's a reality. She spoke about many states today that have women who are coming in as entrepreneurs. In my 6-month journey already with my partner Ritu, the shocking reality is that in Bhatinda, out of 300 children, only 10 are girls. And maybe then coming here as part of this forum is also to change a little bit of that statistic. We need more women coming to school. We therefore need them to be alive. So our journey is not only about creating teacher training across Pan-India, but also making sure we spend some time creating opportunities for the girl child. We're very big on sport, integration. My husband's a sportsman, so it comes naturally. And the last bit is children with special needs. 1 in 3 today are dyslexic or autistic or are on the spectrum, and we don't seem to be doing anything in our school fraternity to integrate them. I was listening to the other ladies and all the incredible work they've done. So I think our journey today will be to collaborate, to identify more gaps, as ma'am said, and hopefully come together as this sisterhood or fraternity to create more opportunities for many more like us, and along the way for the men as well.
I actually saw the bio and I was pretty impressed with the kind of awards that you got and the kind of engagement activities that you're doing. What gave you this idea of Lagna for especially able professionals or people?
So let me start taking you through the flashback. So basically I come from this Marwari game family where we women are not allowed to work. But we were not even study. So when I got married, I was doing my final year PA. And That was in Jan when I got married. So, and my exams were in April. My mother-in-law refused to send me to college and go give my exams in Bangalore. So I was like, okay, fine. I studied from my nursery to become a graduate, and unfortunately, even today I'm not graduate. All right. Then I did get married in Bombay for good 15 years now. 7 years of my marriage life, I did see a lot of transformation in myself, because that was something which was very shocking. I mean, when you're not empowering your girls to go educate yourself, to learn something, or because I have always been a part of the social activities, even before I got married. Then I was like, यार भैया बहुत हो गया, अभी कुछ करना है तो you will have to wake up, you will have to stand by yourself, and you will have to do it. Because not everybody gets support. Let's be the fact. Let's accept the fact. In my community, I would even today say that there are very, very, very few women who are really lucky to get family support and support from them. So that's how I started going out. I started working. I started taking up calls. And one family, there was an event which was happening in Bombay at Zoo, where they were physically challenged. They had come up with this handicraft stuff and everything. And we thought, let us go, let us empower. Kuch khareed lete, and they feel that feeling of empowerment. And suddenly there's a guy, an adult, who was on wheelchair, who comes to me and he's like, Didi, I want to get married. And I was like kind of taken aback. Because that was something, I never thought about it. Usually we don't think about it. So I was like, I just couldn't sleep. I didn't know what to do. And I was like, there's some calling and I need to, as again ma'am said, that gap, that calling. So I do feel that the same thing. And I came to it specially able matrimony. Overnight, I had my own savings. I had paid something around 5,000 rupees to develop a website and start an online matrimony. Lekin I failed very badly. Awareness nahi tha, 4 saal pehle ki baat hai. Or there was lack of funds, there was lack of support, and but I didn't give up. I said, all right, I will come up with my own NGO, and I started working for cancer, health, education, and all. And now after this Make in India, what Narendra Modi ji have come with Skill India, vocational training, so many schemes for disabilities and everything. So the accessibility towards these are very easy. So every kid, even my mate, she's like, Bhabi, aap WhatsApp kar lena, Didi, aap WhatsApp kar lena. So that's the time I realized that, technology is in your hand. And you can do anything, you can change lives. I mean, that's how I have changed my life through social media. I mean, I just started uploading my work and everything, and that's how I've been, recognized. I joined BJP, I joined Atibhi as a board of director, I joined Agarkar as an advisory board, and many other various platforms. So, what happened was I came up with this Lagna.com app, which my IT team is working on it. This caters for specially able and adult acid attack victims, survivors who are looking for partners, who are looking for communication. In the worst case, they will have a companion to find them, and it's all about inclusion. It's not only about acid attack survivors, it's not only about specially able. We are inviting normal people just like you. Come, be a part of it. You can manage them, you can have a partner with them, you can also empower them, you can also take up their surgeries, you can also help them in various ways. And the government have come up with so many schemes which very, very, very few people are aware of it. Say for example, there were people who wanted a wheelchair, they would always call me up. We need wheelchair. I donated few and they saw and they're like, even we need. So how much can I reach out and how much can I help? So what I started was I just tweeted to Ministry of Disability, and believe me, Bhavesh, the very next minute I will get a reply from there, and from Delhi they delivered one wheelchair in Ahmedabad and another one in Mumbai. Technology is something that you don't have to be one-to-one. I mean, I even will come up with this app that education that we were talking about, the online training. So you don't have to be, face to face to help or empower or educate or something. So I was like, I myself got more empowered. Yeah, so that's how we thought of coming up with this app. Maharashtra government said they will publish and all the logo. And we have been recognized internationally as well because we are global pioneers in this. From an active start. So what are you having?
Yeah, it has to be a start somewhere.
Yeah, it has to be a start somewhere. So that's how I started my journey, and I'm looking forward for TheMobixpert to launch the app. And we are in parallel with them. I also got an appointment luckily. So I think that shows a positive sign. So
as people say, when there is a will, there is a way.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a will, there's a way. And basically, you need to invest from the grassroots level in the will. You need to involve in policy making, national decision. It could be anything. Even your basic decisions at home, what it is, you need to involve a girl child. You need to involve those women who are surrounded around you. So it's basically all about inclusion and how you grow together. It's I think another 2 minutes. But strange, sometimes I see, one woman is always jealous of another woman and they don't want to empower that. And there's a huge tough competition happening. Yeah, it's not successful. Yeah, why don't you do? And that's the way we have to see that, just watch the audience. Please clap it, guys. I read this, lovely quote. So that's what I watch. And you get to know, you need to filter out. You don't surround yourself with negativity. Talk positive. Approach positive people. Keep your surrounding positive. आप भी चलो, हम भी चलते और इकट्ठे चलते हैं.
Very good. Very good. I think this actually, sent some shivers in my whole body, listening to the kind of initiative that we or every youth can take. Coming to Ritu, I have heard Ritu, I don't know how many times, but this is not for me. Ritu, as your profile says, Obino was a selfish motive. But then, how did you actually utilize technology? What kind of innovation that you actually brought in a tech-savvy world to build Obino what it is today? Because I've spoken to a few women entrepreneurs for women power, and a couple of them actually told me they have used your app. So I said, hey, wonderful. So you have a lot of people, the customers in the audience as well.
Just to tell, I'm sure a lot of people here don't know what Obino is about. So Obino essentially is a health and weight loss coaching application. So amongst a lot of people sitting here today is the willingness to get healthier, get fitter, to lose weight, to get back into the clothes that we once used to wear, to look the way we once did. And Obino was part of my journey to making that transition. So about 8 years ago, I had a beautiful little baby girl. In the process of having that beautiful little baby girl, I put on a healthy 25 kilos. I was not really where I wanted to be with my body, and for the longest time, I really struggled with the weight. And I think most people, when they're slim, don't realize what overweight people go through. It's only when you cross that weight barrier do you realize how difficult it is to transition back, because your body behaves differently, your mind says something else. So, like we say, a poor person and a rich person are not the same. They're different people because the money changes them. Similarly, weight changes you. And that's when I struggled a great deal for a couple of years. And I said, there has to be an easier way to do this. It can't always be this hard. And that's where the idea of Obino was born. And Obino is very simple. You can download the app, you can use it to lose weight. If you find it hard to do it on your own, you can actually upgrade to a program where we pair you with your own coach. And that coach works with you one-on-one and helps you to lose weight, whether it's a diet initiative or a fitness initiative or whether it's an emotional problem that's holding you back from reaching your potential, Obino helps you get there. So in the last couple of years that we've been around, we've crossed about 5 lakh downloads. We've helped a lot of people lose weight. And what's been really heartening for us is the sheer number of lives that we've managed to touch, and the actual stories that come back to us saying that I used your app and I feel better about myself now. And I think it's a business. End of the day, any entrepreneurship initiative is here to make money, to give a return to their investors and the stakeholders. But to have a business that touches lives and makes people happy, I think is the best kind of business. So we've been around for a couple of years now. We've raised around 3 rounds of funding. The very first from the first organization that employed me, which was Airtel, that seed funded us. Then from an incubator, and our last was from a health-based venture fund in the US called Roundglass Partners. We're on the verge of raising our next round. The team is about 50 people strong now, spread across 2 cities. It's been a good journey, and I hope to be able to share some of the stories. But coming back to what Bhavesh was asking, I think most industries today have a traditional offline format. You want to buy clothes, you walk into a boutique. You want to lose weight, you walk into a VLCC. You want to buy groceries, you walk into a kirane ki dukaan or a grocery shop. Today, you're seeing the first level of disruption where people are enabling technology platforms so that you can avoid having to walk into that shop. Save you the physical exertion, make it a more convenient alternative. That's the first level of disruption that we also have done in the weight loss business. But as we proceed forward, the next level of disruption is going to come from removing humans from the equation. So today you interact with your coach, who is a human being who understands you, who provides accountability and motivation and information. The next level of disruption is to remove that person and put technology in its place, because manpower is a non-scalable resource. Today I can serve 100 customers with 5 dietitians who work with me. Tomorrow I'll serve 5,000 with 500 dietitians. But eventually I'm going to run out of skilled manpower. And when the business grows larger, it has to grow more scalable. So the next level of disruption is how do you replicate human capital with technology. And I think that's where most businesses that have crossed the first level of disruption are heading, if that answers your question.
Interesting. Atibhi, how did MobiXpert happen? I mean, is it tech enabled, or does it solve some challenges?
So MobiXpert was more of my personal journey, right? I decided after 14 years of working in a typical corporate setup, I wanted to really break through the shackles of what baggage a corporate setup really brings, and really concentrate and engage my environment in what really matters to me. So I've always been a product person, and I realized I wanted to actually contribute to building products. It was not really happening in various other ecosystems. And I think where it really, and I have had the chance to really work with a lot of entrepreneurs, including Ritu, on great innovative products. But I cannot really take any of the I cannot take any of the credit for it at all. It's been their thinking. But I think what MobiXpert really came from is actually a transformation that I saw as an individual, right? I realized that if I wanted to contribute and build my environment the way I want to, I need to make changes in myself, right? Which means I realized I had to create, as an entrepreneur, a network or a support of people around me who could really be my advocates, who could be my partners, who could be my go-to people for designers, for my development houses. And I think all of us realize that when we are on our own, suddenly many doors just close. From being a person where people were actually, lining up to meet me, I was literally, one-man army, and I was literally banging on doors for support. And I realized that I had to change myself and actually, shamelessly, literally, know where I want to go and ask for the support. Also, I realized that there's a lot of changes or innovation that we need to do as people, right? I realize as I become a consultant, I need to add that amount of value, and I realized that I needed to basically go through, a lot of, changes in, or in terms of educating myself or bringing my needle up in certain kind of, areas, which meant I had to, literally go back to the drawing board, take the required education, the classes, seek out subject matter experts, join the right, online, and Ritu said you don't have to really have a face-to-face communication, but you have a large digitally connected community of subject matter experts that you basically connect to. So I think MovieXpert was more of a journey for me to really help companies who are trying to build and scale products, especially on the mobile market.
Thank you. Coming to Tejas, SaffronStays. It's all about experience, right? How do you ensure that your customers or your consumers stay happy? And what is that one hack that you tried and has worked?
Is this fine? Okay. So everyone knows what Airbnb is, right? So they bring together, they're an aggregator of the vacation rentals, homestays. We started as an aggregator of homestays. Very soon we realized that there is no value add really in the aggregation business for various reasons. It's a discount deal. You're always, chasing numbers and, the most important reason is what Bhavesh was pointing out is that you never have control on the experience. Okay, when I'm aggregating, I'm just taking this guy's inventory, putting it out and selling it. I do not know whether that person who stayed there is happy, was he not happy. Even if he was not happy, I really don't have control over it. Okay, so that's one of the main reasons that we moved out of this whole aggregation business and moved into hospitality. We realized that the need of the hour and the reason why a lot of people still don't go for homestays is because they're never sure about the quality of the experience that they will get. So we started building it from the base level. So we said, what is the absolute basic that people look for? Hygiene, cleanliness, okay, good service, smiling faces, and good food. Okay, so check these boxes, and you've covered like 90% of the requirements. So we went about going one by one in each of these aspects. Now, why does it become critical to employ hacks in my business? Is because I don't have one hotel of 100 rooms. I have 25 places with maybe 4 rooms each. So it's literally impossible for me to send a manager every place and try and ensure that there is quality at all times. How do I do this? Is by employing technology, simple technology. WhatsApp, someone talk about simple. Each of my caretakers has a smartphone. Each of them knows how to use a smartphone. I tell them, ensure that you send me pictures of every spot, every place, every bedroom, every bathroom before the guest checks in. So I know that the hygiene is checked. Okay. So these are some of the simple hacks that we keep actually employing, and that's how. So am I doing something unique? No, the product is not unique. The homestays have been there. A lot of people run homestays, but what happens is they're not able to scale. Why? Because they can't go beyond one property and 2 properties. The only way I can grow is by employing and continuously questioning the status quo. Okay, so the gaps that we were speaking about, I also look at saying that in terms of questioning what is the status quo. In every business that we do, you have to question what has been done till now. Does it have to really be done that way? When you start questioning that, you find disruptive ideas, you find disruption, and that's when you're able to kind of take it to the next level. Okay, so simple example, Uber. Did it really change the product? No, right? It's a product which takes me from spot A to spot B. I'm still hiring a car to do it. What it questioned is the need for a call center. Do I need to do a call center and actually, why can't I give a simple app to someone which says, okay, do self-selection. that one process, that one question, that one disruption changed the whole industry. That is what I think we will do in our industry. We will change it. We will change the micro-hospitality industry. We will change it from hospitality to micro-hospitality. The second disruption that we've brought about is how we've also gotten the caretakers of every property into our fold. So we've made them micro-entrepreneurs. They have a stake in our business. Okay, so today I run this whole setup with a 5-member team. Okay, that's near impossible because the caretakers are themselves entrepreneurs. They get a say in the service, they get a say in the food, they get a say in everything. So they ensure at all times that the quality is maintained. Yes. So I'll just take a minute more and I'll explain this. In hospitality, food constitutes about 30 to 40% of the top line of most hospitality companies, right? How much does it constitute for me? 0. I take nothing out of it. The entire money from food is directly going to my caretakers. And that's what I mean by micro-entrepreneurs, because they are invested. Their skin is in the game. It's their food on the table. They are selling it. So unless that's good quality, people don't go back and say, khana bakwas tha. So they know that their ranking is going to go down. You know how that has worked for us? Each and every review that we get on TripAdvisor has a mention about the caretaker. It never mentions SaffronStays. It never mentions anything about us. It always mentions that this caretaker took care of me and served me lovely meals. I think.
Interesting. Very interesting. So you actually empowered him also to be a stakeholder in your business. Interesting. Yeah. So coming back to Fatima, in your journey so far, what has been your challenge and how did you overcome?
So we've been different in our space for teacher training. Most organizations that I hear start off lean. We've been top heavy with human capital. So that added on a huge cost. And with that cost, simply put, you had to pay those salaries. And one thing we were very clear as partners that we wanted to change the definition of what women made in the education space. We're talking about salaries that cross $1.5 lakh. So we were very clear that up front as a startup, we would pay those salaries, and therefore to generate business is where we, I won't say struggled, we are already 30 schools under the belt in 6 months, and from Ratnagiri to Panchgula, from Jaipur to Bangalore, so we're there. But I think the real challenge was collaboration. What we realized, and I think someone spoke about that initially as well, is that women, or rather, it's an industry that works in isolation. If we could just take that apart and collaborate, like just today, thanks Bhavesh for this, because I've collaborated with 3 of them and already I've created business lines. Networking, I've got 400 clients, hopefully, Kalpana. I think we need to collaborate a lot more, and that's been our biggest challenge. So conclaves like this or forums like this help us reach out in quicker ways than doing it through advertising or branding or social media. So that's been really where I think we struggled a little bit, the collaboration. Also, I think we've been approached by 2 companies already to invest in our company because we're cheap. When the PE, the ratios that they look at right now look very, very attractive. We're looking at PE multiples of over 9. We're not willing to sell now, but it's gratifying to know that someone's picked us up to say, listen, let's put some money in them and help them grow. That, Bhavesh, has been our biggest challenge, to refuse the funding. So I've been happy problems. I've been part of funded organizations where the 30 and 40% margins have killed us. So we went our way, we went our independent way. We're hoping for more collaboration, and I think networks like this will ensure that we get there quicker. Thanks.
Very interesting. I think me and Shraddha can relate, in terms of what you're saying. Refusing an investor is pretty tough task in today's world, and that's called the beauty of how you scale your business and how you build your business. I think rather than chasing investors, I think let them chase you. That's the best way to scale, and that's the best way to actually also mention that your valuations are very strong. Great, wonderful.
Thanks. It feels so nice for someone else who's gone through that.
Exactly. So, coming to Kalpana, coming from a Marwari family, I can relate that because I myself am a Gujarati and, we are very similar. How did you overcome that challenge? Because very conservative family and plus, building such a beautiful initiative. I think it takes a lot of, guts out to convince your family also that, hey, look, this is something that I want to change, and it's not only money that I am looking for.
No, unfortunately, I didn't get even that money.
Wow.
So I started from the scratch, and I refused to take the help after whatever I had little succeeded in my field. So what was your question? How did you?
Yeah, so how did you overcome that?
Okay, so basically, I refused to be what they wanted me to be, and I believed my voice, I believed myself. I said, unless I don't take that first step out, how would I know there is a way waiting for me? So sometimes you need to risk yourself. And you never know, sometimes you succeed, sometimes you fail. And then there's so many challenges which are on your way, and you're sure about it. Now I'm doing this is what I'm going to get that. So I was prepared. I was like, irrespective of what, for 7 years of my life, I have dedicated at home. I wore sari, I wore bungat, I cooked food, I washed utensils, I did everything, travel coach, everything I was supposed to do that. So that's how we Marwari Jain family are even now. And there's nothing new I'm talking about. This is the tradition, this is the culture what we follow. Now थोड़ा बहुत change हो चुका है, काफी change हो चुका है. So I decided नहीं बॉस अगर ये सब करने के बाद भी सुनना है तो नहीं करके सुन लो. Let me live my life and listen to whatever I have to listen. And I started and I went on और जैसे चलती गई क्या कहते हो जुड़ता गया and I have volunteers all over India. I have people supporting internationally and been awarded Kalpana Puraskar, World 100 Best CSR initiative, and many more. I'm getting another 2 more in Delhi.
Wow.
So this is really exciting journey. I'm really and today I am a one-woman show. Whatever I'm doing it, I don't have any paid staff. I don't have any. I have volunteers who work for me. I do give them their professional fees on the project, but I have no paid staff. I manage my show from the finance to administrative to meetings, networking, everything I do it.
Wonderful.
Implementation I have
That's the way lean startup works, I guess.
Absolutely. Because I'm sure about my vision. I know what I'm looking for, and I don't want anybody else to interrupt that. So I might as well leave. Unless I suppose to अब implement करना do it. And this is what I'm looking for. So when I design my project or take up any project, so I know what my vision is. I know who are the beneficiaries. I know what are the target audience, and I know the power of technology.
Interesting.
And I was just a call away to Prime Minister, and I just mailed him, and I think I followed up for good 3-4 months. And they said, "Madam, आपका reject तो नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन hold पे जरूर है." That motivated me. Again, I followed up. And after this election campaign, everything is going on, so they have asked me to follow after 11, and I get an appointment for sure. So I'm all excited about it.
Interesting. Ritu, coming to you. What has been your journey so far in terms of challenges, and how have you been able to overcome that?
From an entrepreneur perspective, any idea starts with a sense of passion, a sense of conviction, a problem that you feel you have a unique insight on. There's a problem that you think you can solve. But somewhere along the way, that problem has to be solved for a large number of people, and it has to be solved successively and consistently and equally well for everyone. And that's when an idea or a hobby grows into a business. I think the transition for most entrepreneurs, not just women entrepreneurs, is to take an idea that you feel you have an insight for, articulate it, and scale it and grow that business. And to do all of this in a time period that is constricted because you only have so much money and time, and your belief will only carry you so far. So before you get tired and run out of energy and money, and before your investors get tired and run out of energy and money, can you get to a scale where the business is self-sustaining? I think that's a classic problem for anyone. For me, that became a little more complex because I'm a mother of a 7-year-old child who requires her own level of attention. And because of that, the time that I can give to business sometimes gets restricted. So it's just like any male entrepreneur has to give time to his family, a female entrepreneur also has to give time to her. So I think the classic challenge that exists for every entrepreneur exists for me. How do you get to where you want to go in the shortest, fastest period of time? And what do you build that can outlast you as an entrepreneur and give returns back into the system? It's a very generic problem. I haven't faced anything that every other entrepreneur has not faced, but it's been a great journey only for me.
Good.
What do you think?
In terms of the challenge, right?
Your journey and the challenge.
So I think, my biggest, so I would say, my journey has been till now, I think the biggest thing that, we face as women is a certain amount of, distrust in our own beliefs. And I think that's a challenge, that's an internal challenge actually that I faced, right? And I think, when I look back very often, when I work with entrepreneurs, very often there are ideas that they have which are meshed with a lot of passion and their own personal experiences, right? And which at times it becomes a challenge for me to agree or not agree. Very often you are not agreeing, but you're sitting on the other side because you are supposed to be in, working with the entrepreneur to build that vision or the product that they have in mind. Whereas it does not match with what you think is actually the right way to go. I think that's the biggest challenge that I feel. But then what I've realized is that especially working a lot with women entrepreneurs, I think we have like a very great ability, which we basically seem to undermine, is our ability to actually reimagine things as they currently are, right? We do it all the time. Like, I'm thinking of how to make my meal for my 6-year-old son more fun. So I'm reimagining how to make like a boring paratha fun for him. And I'm reimagining how to, make a story fun for him. So I think we have the ability to. So very often, people, entrepreneur comes to me and says that this is a great idea and I think it's really great, but 9 out of 10 people have told me this is like not innovative enough. And how to that level, you have to you have to demystify what is really innovation. Because innovation is actually just doing something in a different way and executing brilliantly, which I think we do have an innate quality to do. So I think my challenge at times is very often to answer your question with the entrepreneurs that I work with, half the time telling them that what you're thinking is absolutely bang on and it's great, believe in yourself. And I think that's something that is enjoyable and also a little bit of a challenge for me.
Interesting.
Not taking where you actually have to turn around and say, listen, passion is good, but it won't work.
It's happened with me actually. It's happened actually once or twice, and but but I guess there are reasons. I guess that everyone has for it.
Very interesting. Tejas. So in your journey so far, what has been your biggest challenge? How did you overcome that?
Okay, this is slightly tricky for me to answer. I worked for 10 years in the corporate world and in banking world. And trust me, after that, entrepreneurship was like a refreshing change for me. Okay, I think it's a completely level playing field. There is no one to judge you. There is no one to question you. I don't know. I find it very different. So challenges to me actually are not really there. In terms of personal challenges. If there's no one really questioning. Why are you working from this time to this time, or why are you not present for this meeting or that meeting? I'm working 24/7. If you ask me now, I think, right, all of us work 24/7. But if there is no really, you don't have to show your face and say that, okay, I'm here all the time in your face. So I think, as an entrepreneur, I think this has been a brilliant journey. This has been refreshing. This has been empowering.
So you don't fight with your boss anymore, you fight with yourself.
Please do.
I think, see, business challenges are always there. You'll always find them, and you can always convert them into opportunities. You always, hit a rock, you push, whatever it takes to move ahead. But yes, passion is something that you can't let go as long as you have that. As long as you have this ability also to say that, okay, I may have hit a wall, but maybe there's a way around it. Okay, so like I said, when we started as an aggregator, and we really hit a wall very soon. And we realized that there are big guys out there who have a lot of money. And unless we do the same as they are doing, that means just throwing discounts at everyone and get customer acquisition, we're not going to move and we're going to close down very soon. So we decided to change the business completely. Okay. I don't come from a hospitality background at all, so for me it is building it from common sense, literally. But yeah, that's it. I think business challenges are always there, but you have to figure out your personal challenges before that.
Great. So, Shraddha, do we have time for a couple of questions? Can we take one at least, one or two? Great. Yeah. So before we take questions, I think let me wrap this up. The whole discussion was about going back to basics, empowering yourself and empowering your people to be able to run that. Bringing change and don't wait for it to happen is another takeaway I think we all should take. Reimagining yourself and trying to redefining your roots is something that I think we should take.
Fundraising is hard. It's very hard, it's a long, lengthy, heartbreaking process. It's a full-time job, and it's always a founder's full-time job. So for any business to raise funds, there's only one basic rule that you have to remember. That most businesses that get funded show a hockey stick growth in their first year. If you take a long time to ramp up, and if your growth is very gradual and organic, the chances of your getting funded go down dramatically. Having said that, there's another thing to remember in the basics of business is there are two basic kinds of businesses. There's a lifestyle business that will give you money and it will help support your family. That is not necessarily a high-risk business. It will help you sustain yourself and will grow over a period of time. That's how 99% of businesses across the world are built. Right? The first generation businesses that move into second generations. Then there is this startup ecosystem. And one of my mentors once referred to it as a broiler chicken. You basically pump it full of hormones, you force it to grow at a speed that is inorganic so that you can then sell it for the highest value received. It is also a very high risk business because like most broiler chickens, 99 of them will die. You'll only be able to sell one of them. So when you start your business, you have to be very clear from day one, are you building a lifestyle business or are you playing the startup? Both have very different trajectories, both have very different outcomes, both have very different risk profiles. And the chances of your crashing and burning are very high in the startup ecosystem. So you need to go in with that thinking and be prepared for that kind of rejection rate and failure rate. But happy to connect offline and assist in any conversation.
Okay. Wonderful. I think let's connect offline. That request is keeping in mind the time constraint that we have. So once again, thank you so much to all my co-panelists, Fatima for joining us, Kalpana for joining us, Ritu, Atibhi, and Tejas for joining us and spending time with us and sharing your valuable insights. Thank you so much for being with us.